welcome to Mark Amy Golf. So today we are starting our mobility and stability series. So it is vitally important that you are mobile. So if you can improve your mobility, you will then improve your stability. So we are trying to reduce the sway, the slide, the loss of shoulder plane. So losing your angles, losing your posture, coming over the top, slicing it, hitting it fat, thin, so those inconsistent strikes and just generally those random shots. So as you can see in the screen now, we've got mobility and stability alternating all the way up the body. If you lose those mobile parts, then a stable joint will be trying to do too much work, which is the last thing you want, which then, like I said, leads to those inconsistencies. So today I've got Henry joining me, who is a strength and conditioning coach, and we will be attacking each mobile part to make it mobile and stop it from becoming stable, not capping yourself at a certain level and becoming a better golfer. Right, let's meet Henry and get stuck in. Right, so this is Henry, our strength and conditioning coach.
Thanks, Mark. So today we're going to see how well you move and work through some different mobility exercises.
Cool, right, let's get stuck in.
Okay, so we're going to start with some floor-based exercises, primarily without load, but then moving on to exercises with load. First with the 90-90 hip mobility stretch. Going to get in a 90-90 position on the floor with our knees. So your front knee at 90 degrees, your back knee at 90 degrees as well. And I want you to pivot on your ankles. So you're going to try and stay nice and upright, facing forward through the middle, so in line with your hip. And you're going to pivot over using your ankles and stay with that nice upright position, and then pivot back round. I want you to hold those end ranges for a few seconds, and then to progress this exercise you can also push forwards, making sure you're not rounding your back like that. So you're trying to stay nice and upright, hinging forward with the hip and feel a stretch in your glute. Nice.
My God, I'm feeling that everywhere.
And you want to try and maintain this 90 degrees push at the front, so you can push your foot forward a little bit further forward. Yeah, that's it. And then move over, pivot again on your ankles, and then this time pushing forward on the other side. And hold for a few seconds. So progress this even further. Might give you a little bit of a cramp. You're going to face forward on your front leg, and then I'm going to ask you to lift your back foot up. So you lift your back foot up for a few seconds and hold.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Watch Mark fall apart now.
So this is attacking the internal, external rotations?
Yeah, so on each individual leg, as you rotate, you're moving into external rotation of that leg moving, and then this one's coming in through internal rotation.
Yeah.
And then back the same way. And then again, by lifting up that back leg, you're adding in more internal rotation of the hip.
Okay, so how many times would I do this manoeuvre?
So usually I'd go through about 5 on each side.
Yeah.
With a 5 to 10 second hold on that front on each side.
So I'm tilting over that front leg.
That's it, yeah. So every time you do that glute stretch, hold that for a few seconds, 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
And
you go keep my upper back.
Yeah, so trying to stay nice and upright with your posture, so you're not trying to crouch in there. Nice and upright, just hinging through the hips. And yeah, I do that 5 on each side, repeat 3 times.
Repeat 3 times, and how many times a week could I do that?
If you've got the time, you can do it every day.
Every day?
Yeah, but at least 3 times a week would be perfect.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And the main bit that's looking to improve in your golf swing is that you'll be able to rotate and achieve that stability, so you won't be swaying and sliding back and forward, and which massive effect and make you more consistent on striking, and it will achieve a bigger range of motion, more club head speed, so the potential is massive.
100%, and then add strength through range on that as well, which we'll go over in a minute, and that'll be massive for sure.
Okay, cool, excellent, thank you.
Okay, round 2, so we're going to work again on that glute, Mark. So another exercise for the floor, quite easy to do at home. You're going to get into that kind of similar to the front 90 position, so your knee's going to be in front of you there, 45 degree angle. Your back leg's as straight as you can back. Yeah, when it gets into this position, and then you're going to push forwards again. So you're trying to push your body weight onto that front leg and feel that front glute stretching.
Oh yeah, I can feel that.
This one you're going to hold for over 20 to 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Oh yeah, I can really feel that stretch. Yeah. So that's what's that attacking then?
So working on your glute flexibility, and we'll do the other side as well.
So it's important to do each side every time?
Yeah, definitely. So you want to be as balanced as possible on the two sides.
Yeah.
And given the dominant role of the glute in your hip, it's really important to stretch the glute out.
Well, I don't think a lot of people don't realise that the second most important muscle in the golf swing is your glute. So.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah. So I can do that. How many times am I going to do that one?
So you do that ideally 30 seconds on each side.
Yeah.
And 3 times. And do as much as possible again. So once a day, if possible.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. Perfect. And next one.
Yeah. So we'll move on to a bit of glute activation this time. So really important to have glute activation in your glute medius. So the glute that works on the side here to stabilise your limbs. So even if you're in single leg exercises in different sports, but also golf, you want to have stabilisation through your glute on this side and your adductors, which we'll get onto in a minute. But the first progression of this exercise, you're going to get a mini band like this, and you're going to wrap it around above your knees. And I want you to lie on your side here, so elbow on the floor, hips forward, and you're just going to raise up your knee, but keeping your ankles together. So you're going to raise your knee up as hard as you can without rocking back like that. So you're going to stay forward, hips forward, raise it up, and slowly back down. So you're going to do 5 reps on each side, just like that.
Okay.
Over to you.
So the main thing, this is attacking again?
So you're working on your glute activation, but mostly your glute medius, so the part of your glute that's responsible for stabilising your limb.
And how far up do I put the band?
Just above your knees.
Just above the knees. Okay, cool.
I've given Mark the strongest band here.
Obviously. So I keep the hip on the floor?
That's it, yeah. So you're going to be facing this way. You're going to have your hips forward, so hips forward this way. And you're going to open up your knees, so open your knee up to as far up as you can go without rocking back. That's it. And then back down. So different people have different ranges of motion.
So that's doing this side.
Yeah, you should feel this up here.
Yeah.
You said, yeah.
And the number of reps on this one?
So you go to between 5 to 8 reps on each side. We'll do 5 today to save you blushes.
And do I hold it at the top or?
So you can go with a tempo of potentially 2 seconds and 1 second. So you'll go 1 second up to the top and then 1, 2, slowly down.
Okay. Alright. And I'll repeat both sides.
Yeah, so you just turn the other way.
To
the other side. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, brilliant. Okay.
And then if you're confident with that, we'll progress it again.
Obviously, yeah.
Which you are.
Yeah. Not sure if I'm going to be able to move after this, but yeah.
So we're going to move this onto a side plank clamshell. So band in the same position, but we're now going to introduce some lateral flexion of the spine. So you're working on having anti-flexion capacity. So being able to stop your back from twisting that way, using your core to stabilise, and also your glute again. So we're going to get into that side position.
Yeah.
You're going to sink into the bottom like this. You're going to push through your knees up into a side plank and then open up your hips again. So hold for 5 seconds like that. And you'll feel it through here and also through your bottom side as well. So 5 second hold. And then you're going to sit all the way back down and repeat 5 times again. 5 times on the other side.
So is that doing your obliques as well, or?
Yeah, so your obliques and your glutes. So it's working everything down your lateral, down your side.
Okay. So band in the same position, just above the knee?
Yeah, exactly the same.
And I can do this same as the others as many times in 1 week?
This one not so much, so because it's an activation exercise, you might want to use it a bit more sparingly. So max 2 to 3 times a day.
So that's hip forward.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that this knee is on the floor. So that knee stays on the floor.
Yeah.
The first movement you do is up into that side plank, that's it. And then you move this one up, this top knee, and then hold for 5 seconds. And Mark should be experiencing lots of soreness through here, and activation through the underside there.
Yeah.
and then you'll go drop back down to the floor, sink to the bottom, and then you'll reset.
So drive up
So
first.
drive up through the knee into that side plank, then open up the hips. And you'll repeat that 5 times, but maybe not today.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I can feel that. That is a good combination exercise, if that's the right word. But
Yeah.
that's
Where would
excellent,
this be most important in the golf swing, where you have to stabilise laterally?
Yes, it's all about making sure you're not. It's the most common thing I see is that sway and slide, just not having the ability to stabilise due to lack of mobility, and then the strength to be able to maintain a position so your centre of mass isn't moving all over the place and you can move the pressure points about.
Nice.
So it's a huge difference, yeah. So next one.
Perfect, yeah, so we're going to now move on to some groin work or adductor work, so having not only flexibility through your groin but also strength, which is why we've got the load. So you're going to find a kettlebell. We're going to start off with a small yellow one.
That did sound quite painful, but yeah.
So starting off with the smallest one just here.
Yeah.
You're going to get into a position like this, so one knee on the floor, 1 foot here at a 45-degree angle, and then the main focus is your back leg. So I want your hip on this side, the left side, to be internally rotated. So that means your foot moves forward that way as opposed to around that side. So in here, you're going to pick up the kettlebell, straight arms, nice upright posture, pushing through with your glutes, and then you're going to push through with your knee in line with your toes. So your knee goes forward, you shift your weight towards that front leg, you hold for 5 seconds, feeling it through your groin, and then you're going to push back up, nice and slow up to the top. Easy, there you go.
Feeling that already, I haven't even moved yet. So okay, so I'm going that way.
Yeah, so you're going to lead with your knee through the line of your toes. You're going to hold for 5 seconds, and you're also going to look forwards, nice upright posture.
Sorry, yeah.
And see how well you can push through your hips. So making sure your hips are through.
Yes, I'm feeling that everywhere.
Good, and then back up to the top. Yeah, in terms of progression, you can work through smaller ranges, then go to larger ranges, and then increase the weight. So we'll have that 12 on there.
So making sure upright, hips
upright
forward.
posture, glutes squeezed and hips forwards.
So should be feeling that there.
Yeah, you'll mainly feel it in that back leg, so the one that's not in front, and also a little bit through the adductor up there.
Okay, cool. And that's helping the mobility of the hips.
Yeah, so working both previously on external rotation and now internal rotation as well. We've got our adductor muscles on the insides and our glute or glute medius on the outside, and it's important to open up the hips through the adductors, so making sure we've not got like tight groins
Okay.
is really key.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so you would repeat the other side.
Yeah,
as
so
well?
similar to the
Yeah.
glute exercise, so probably 5 times on each leg.
Okay.
And then repeat 3 times.
And but where this is a loading exercise, you would only do that.
Yeah, more like 3 or 4 times a week. So
Okay.
given the load, you might experience some soreness from doing this, depending on how much you've loaded it, how much you loaded it, or how used to it you are. So a bit more cautious with this one.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Henry. I feel more flexible in the hips already. So our next one is going to be our upper back. We're attacking that.
Yeah, so upper to mid back or thoracic spine.
Okay, cool. Any questions or comments, please send them through, and we'll see you on the next one.